How's it going, YouTubers? Thank you for joining me for another video today. And today we've got another look at Project Cars and the online features. So they recently announced some of the online features, which has been taken from community feedback, from either what people have seen from various footage, from the console community, and also from the PC community of being able to do the beta testing and being with it from day one if they were part of the Kickstarter campaign. So they released a little video just saying that basically everyone can race everyone throughout the world, which we all know and come to expect these days from games. So we're just going to have a quick look at the website, which we're going to just flick over to, and then we're just going to have a quick look through together at what is on the online part of it, and we'll go from there. So you can see here, just at the start, you've got public, friend and private lobbies. This is just a quick screenshot here that you can see of the online lobby setup, and you've got 90 until event starts, presumably that's 90 minutes, maybe seconds, and you can join the session in progress. It tells you here what circuit it is and what kind of race it is, I presume, because then you've got the Audi R18 TDI, so presumably it's a Le Mans setup race here, so you can have specific ones there. Next to that you've got the weather, which you've got the rain, here it's fog and rain forecast, and then you've got 10 laps, and then a few options which have been disabled, so interior view no, manual gears yes, realistic driving aids no, and identical cars no. And these are forced restrictions which presumably the host can do. On the right hand side here, the game will be starting soon, you can send invites, and these are the people that are currently in the lobby. And just here you've got a little chat window. I'm not sure if this is part of the console version as well, whether you can actually type and chat or if it's just voice chat. And then obviously just below there, which we just slightly missed out, which is vote for change, so you can vote between lobbies. So I presume this is a public lobby set up roughly here. They've got a few bits of chatting and different things here, but basically there's three types of lobbies. You've got public, friends and lobbies. So public lobbies are a bit like the hoppers that you get in Forza. So it says there that public lobbies are designed for quick or ad hoc games with strangers. A lobby countdown timer dictates when the event begins, and players will be given a thumbs up to say when they are ready to go, which speeds things up, which is great little feature there, because that means when everybody's ready, the countdown timer will start sooner. Sometimes they start when they want to, you don't get a chance to have a quick look at anything, but also if everybody's ready, sometimes you wait for a default time frame to come in. So if you're in a multiple online games so if you are playing multiple online games in a row with the same people, you're sure to be able to jump into each with as little fuss as possible, which is pretty standard. Public lobbies appear in the global browsable current public game list that any player can join and invite their friends to, which is quite cool. So another little extra bit there. You've obviously got your public lobbies and your hoppers and different things, but if you want a mate to come and join you in that same one, you can invite him or her into that lobby, and they will they'll come into that same lobby as you. Sometimes it's a bit tricky getting people into the same lobbies. Just a quick swig of beer for the working man. Friend lobbies. So friend lobbies are designed for you and your friends to play in more trustworthy environment, with the host determined when the game starts based on communication amongst your friends, either via text, which is PC, or voice via PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Presumably the PC does have chat as well if you put that on. Don't know whether it's in-game or you might have to Skype that, but whatever. Players can join friend lobbies either by choosing join game from their friends list, or from being invited by someone already in the lobby, which is kind of what we have now. And then they've got private lobbies. Private lobbies are designed for players and companies out there that wish to allow players that meet certain criteria, e.g. you may be the creator of a sim racing league, or large brand that wishes to allow competition winners or league members to access a lobby. With a private lobby, you can thereby create a bespoke lobbies for specific people that are only allowed to play. So this is a little bit where I'm unsure of the difference. So public lobbies are public lobbies. That's pretty plain set. It's a hopper lobby. They're just lobbies that are set up by the game. That's easy. We know that one. Friend lobbies sound like the normal lobbies that we get in Forza. So I could set up a lobby, invite my friends can join on that lobby if I'm online, and you're good to go. So that's a friend lobby. Private lobbies are lobbies that are exactly the same as friend lobbies, but they seem a little bit more specific. So whether you have to have a password or it is literally invite only. So if I create a lobby, and this is more like the private version that you select in Forza. However, even if I'm in that lobby and you are on my friends list and I want you to come into that game, you have to have an invite from me or a password or something like that. And it seems like you might get a little bit more kind of editing rights to this, whether you get to save it or what, I'm not sure. It's strange. There's a lot of detail here, but not enough detail, if that makes sense. It's telling you a lot of stuff, but not in enough detail, but it sounds good. So I'm presuming that public lobbies are public lobbies, friends lobbies are just generic lobbies that anybody can jump in and out of. Private lobbies are very specific, very invite only, kind of like a race league. So when we set up the races on Stella's forum, I presume we'll do it as a private lobby. And if you haven't got an invite or a password or something to get onto that lobby, you don't get into that lobby. End of story. That's how I see that working. It'd be nice for a little bit more clarification on that, but we'll see. And at the bottom here, they've just got online lobbies of 16 players are supported by Xbox One, PS4 and 32-bit PCs, and 32 players are available for PC players running 64-bit mode, which is a bit disappointing that we're still only getting 16 here. It'd be nice for a few more than that. I believe we were supposed to be getting a few more than that, but obviously limitations have come in somewhere. So we are up to the 16 on consoles and 32-bit if you've got a 64-bit machine. So we'll just quickly go on to have a quick look at the host options. Creators of online games have a wealth of options available to them in order to set up the perfect game with their friends or fellow members of a driver network community. Host migration. If the host leaves, someone else will automatically take over the role. Standard. Vote for the change of track. If you don't like the current track of choice, you can vote your dissatisfaction and prompt for change. Full customization. Host can decide the full list of restrictions and rules they prefer. Interior cams only. Rolling starts. Damage off. Regulation severity and allow driving aids, etc. Full with AI, so hosts can elect to fill the grid with AI opponents if the lobby isn't full with humans. Security, hosts can name their lobbies and password protect them, PC only. So, host migration is pretty standard in most online games, regardless whether it's racing, FPS and all those different things. That's pretty standard. Vote for change again, whatever. Whether you get the option to turn this on or off, I don't know. Full customization, so there's a few things we can look at in here. Obviously you've got the standard interior cams only, rolling start, which is quite cool. They normally start a couple of corners back, and then once the first car hits the start line you all go. So that's pretty cool. It'd be nice to do a few of those. Damage off, pretty standard. Regulation severity, so presumably that means how severe the regulations are either in place or how severe they're looked at. Maybe you can alter a threshold as to how strict the digital stewards are, whatever you want to call them, but it'll be interesting to see what that means, whether that means it's full regulations and it's just a race, or you turn them off so anything goes, or if there is a threshold on how severe they look at things, corner cutting and things like that. It'd be interesting to see there. And then allow driving aids, which is standard. Normally I just leave them on because if you want to use the aids you can, and if you don't, you don't. Fill the lobby with AI, again pretty standard. The little bit that's a bit disappointing though, security hosts can name their lobbies and password protect them, which is PC only. It'd be nice to see that on console. I can't see why that is a restriction on PC only, but hey ho. So you've got mid-season features. So what we'll look at here is this. So in all online games, Project Cars players are free to include any number of pre-race sessions such as practice and qualifying as they wish. Additionally, and crucially, players can join any one of these pre-race sessions at any time. So if you've organised a race to start at 8 PM, players can join at any time prior to that and set their qualifying time first. So basically what this means is you can set up a race, and again we'll use the example here. The race actually starts at 8, but the lobby could open at say 6 o'clock. You could have a practice session for an hour or an hour and a half, and then half an hour for qualifying. And as long as you join the lobby at that point, so you can set your qualifying time, or before the physical race starts, you will be in the race. Whether this is like certain games like iRacing and Stock Car Extreme and things like that, where you can skip the qualifying and practice sessions, and then what will happen is you just start at the back of the grid. I don't know. I presume that's what it'll allow you to do. So no time set. Get yourself to the back of the grid, son, and you've got to start from the back and work your way up. It'll be interesting to see what restrictions there are on that. You might be able to turn it off. So if someone doesn't set a time, they can't join, because it'd be a little bit annoying if there are some faster guys out there who constantly do it. It'll be rather annoying. Moving on, across all platforms, Project Cars also supports in-game text chat from the driver's seat, mappable to any key on PC, and voice chat consoles to communicate, strategize, engage in friendly rivalry with fellow opponents. So basically you can chat while you're doing it. Yeah, don't know why they need to express that. Obviously for the PC players, you can type and stuff, which is pretty cool. But it's quite good that you can do that. They're encouraging you to share that information. When sat in the pit box, players can access to the in-game chat lobby, allowing players to interact with other drivers, view their game IDs, vote to skip to the next session, and invite friends to join. So a couple of things there. Obviously you can invite your friends to join when you're just sat in the pits watching the session go past. If you've had enough of practicing, you can just press X, press whatever key, I don't know what it's going to be, and just say, I've had enough of practicing. Grab yourself a drink, and then hopefully it'll speed things on if that's an agreement you've had with the lobby host. So you can actually say, I've had enough practicing now, and then it will speed things on a little bit. I think that was all from there. Obviously you've got the chat in, you can vote to skip, and you can invite your friends in, which is pretty cool. You can also view your current action out onto the track from the monitor station and create your own tuning setups and pit strategies. Please see our dedicated video, which we reviewed last time, which didn't really show us a great deal about this. But basically what it's saying there is while you're in the pits, you can alter all your tuning, which we've gone through before. There's a link below to that video if you haven't already seen that, with a quick look at the tuning setups that we've got there. And you'll be able to do that all from the pit box, and then go out onto the practice session or qualifying. I'm not sure if there are any restrictions like that. I know in real life, F1 and different things like that, you can do minimal tuning setups while you're in your pit box before qualifying and things, so they kind of go into like a semi-part Fermi, but we will see. And obviously you can view what's happening now on the track, which is pretty cool, so you can see where you may be able to pick up a few tenths on a track. If someone's a little bit quicker than you can see how they're taking some of the corners and things. And also, if it is a qualifying session, you can see where everyone is on the track, so you can pick your moment to get out there, get yourself a clean lap in the clean air. Once the event is over, you can save the replay to your driver network gallery. Wicked, you can save replays, that's pretty cool. So then we've got online performance and reputation. Your driver network profile tracks many stats relating to your experience, focus and affinity, but it also tracks your online performance and reputation. So it's good that we've got a reputation in this game. Things like Forza and that didn't really have a reputation or anything about your online performance, other than the fact that you've probably raced this and your level goes up. So it's good that we've got a bit of reputation on this game. The number of, so this is what it goes on, the number of races entered versus the number of completed, breakdown of placement for those races, pole positions achieved in qualifying sessions, average finishing position and average qualifying position, the number of races you incurred no penalties, and the number of races where you were disqualified. So there's quite a lot of information if there's someone that wants to join your lobby that's come to you out of the blue, said they've been racing for quite a while or whatever. You can obviously go and check their profile, and if they've been disqualified from every one race, qualifying last all the time and things like that, then it's up to you whether you want them. Personally, I'm not bothered if they're qualifying last, at least they're trying, and as long as they're finishing races. The things that would bother me when looking at someone's profile is the penalties and the number of disqualifications, because you'll know if they're a dirty racer or not. All this information is used to ensure that you find players of a similar skill and conduct, continually collide with other drivers, and you'll slowly make acquaintances with other similar destructive tendencies. Drive with good sportsmanlike conduct and you will enjoy the company of other refined opponents. So basically what he's saying there is, if you drive like a twat, you're going to race with other twats, and if you drive nice and friendly, keeping it clean and enjoying the game, that's what the kind of people you're going to go with. So play fair, be successful, and greatness awaits. A bit cheesy, but there we go. From listening and seeing how our WMD community have played Project Cars throughout development, and from seeing how racing fans play other titles out there, we hope these features listers go a long way to ensure that Project Cars online play is not only authentic but intense, but also seamless and efficient. So basically that is a look at the online play and how the lobbies are set up from Project Cars. It looks pretty sweet. I love the reputation system as long as it works well and works, because obviously sometimes these things don't, and it'll be great to get in some races where you can have a quick practice session just to work off any rust on that track, go into a qualifying, and then half an hour later we start the race and we're going for it, and have almost like a race weekend or race day. And it looks pretty sweet. It'd be nice to get a few more details on a few bits about these lobbies and how they work, especially on the console. Hopefully I'll be playing on both PC and Xbox One, and we'll go from there. So thank you very much for joining me on this video, guys. Any questions, comments, what you're excited about, what you're not excited about, are you getting Project Cars, bang it in the comments below, and I shall see you all on the next video.